guys! Today we are going to be doing 3 looks with the Muerte palette by Melt. I cannot wait. I haven't been this excited to film a 3 looks 1 palette video in forever. If you haven't seen my first impression video, I'll have that linked up in the corner, but this beautiful palette right here, just look at that color story. This is what I mean when I want brands to come out with unique and different color stories. Like, just the combination of these colors is just perfection, and it's something that just makes me really excited, and it makes me want to just like dig in and have fun and play with colors. So that's what we're gonna do. That's basically what this video is going to be. It's going to just be me doing 3 looks with this palette. Groundbreaking, I know. Now, if you do just want to hear a review on the palette, I'll have a timestamp on the screen. I'll talk a little bit more about the palette at the end of the video, but I just want to dig in. I want to put some of these on my eyes. So I'm going to start by priming my eyes with my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base. So what I'm thinking for this first look is I want to try to pair some of these turquoise shade together with the reds. I know those are like not going to mix very well in together if I try to start blending them too much. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to keep it like all matte on my lid, and I want to use like some of these dark shades as well as the red. And then I want to do like a blown out inner corner with probably the turquoise here. So what I'm going to do to start is I'm going to take the darkest of the reds here, and I'm going to basically just pack that all over my lid using my MAC 242 brush. And I'm just going to start by really stamping this onto my eyelid here. Now this is a beautiful matte. That is so deep. I love mattes that are extremely deep and dark. I just find that it gives so much dimension to any eye look. So I'm basically just going to pack this onto my mobile lid and make sure I leave a little bit of room just in my inner corner here, because like I said, I'm going to use that turquoise and I don't want to have to layer that turquoise too much on top of other shadows, because I do want to make sure it doesn't get too muddy. So I'm just taking this shadow high enough up that it's showing above the hood of my eye here. And I feel like this is going to be a very simple look. One observation though that I will say I have with this palette is that I feel like all of the shadows are showing up darker on my eyes than they are in the pan, which isn't really a problem at all. It's just kind of something that I'm seeing the more I'm using this palette, which I honestly kind of like that. I would rather them show up darker than show up lighter. I'm also going to take this down to my lower lash line here and just put that close to my lashes, and then I'm going to work on blending this out with some other shadows that I'm putting down. And I am just gently diffusing the edges of this color just a little bit before I go in with the next one that I'm going to use to blend this out with. And you could absolutely do this in like the opposite direction too. If you prefer to go from light to dark, you could definitely start with like your transition shades or your crease shades and then go darker. I just like to do this to make sure that there's not going to be any patchiness or anything like that. I just find it to be kind of foolproof to go darkest to lightest. So next up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the red here, and I'm going to use that to blend out the shadow that I just put down. And this is going to go all the way around my eye here. So I'm just really going to take my time to work on the blends, because sometimes smoky eyes can be a bit tricky and it takes a little bit longer, at least for me. So I'm just going to be doing a lot of blending. I'll speed it up so you can see what I'm doing, but there really won't be any explanation needed because I'm just going to go back and forth until I get the intensity that I want here.
I feel my heart is going full speed. I can't control it, can't keep up with the rhythm of it all. Is this all an illusion?
I'm going back in with that first shadow that I put down on my lid, and I'm just going to pack on a little bit more and then go in and blend another round here just to make sure that everything is nice and pigmented and blended.
'Cause I'm getting deluded, can't keep up with the rhythm of it all. I gotta figure it out right now, 'cause I know what you need. You want only the best and nothing but the best from me. I gotta figure it out right now, 'cause I know what you need.
So these shadows are just performing so well, and this has been so easy so far. I can't wait to just, I don't know. I feel like this palette is just going to make it into my top 5 of the year already, because I love this palette. I'm next going to go into the turquoisey shimmer, and I'm going to pop that into my inner corner, and I'm really going to kind of blow this out. I'm going to go ahead and spray this just to make sure I don't get any fallout and that I get this nice and intense here. And I'm just going to really blow this out. Going to pull it up to my lid and blend it into the colors that I have on my lid, as well as down to my lower lash line here.
You want only the best and nothing but the best from me.
And then to finish off, there is no way I'm not going to use a turquoise in my waterline because it's just going to be the perfect match. So this is Zulu by Colourpop. I'm gonna pop this in there. I'm gonna do some liner mascara, put on a lipstick. That's gonna be a tough choice. Probably gonna be a nude, to be honest, but you'll see in like 2 seconds. So this is the look all done, and I actually decided to go with like a dark lipstick today, which I don't usually do that, but I just felt like the tones in this lipstick is exactly what is in my eye look, and I just thought it was very matchy and kind of grungy, and like, I don't know, I like it. This is from Dior. It's in the shade Poison Metal. It's one of their metallic lipsticks, and I love the formula on these. I want to use them more, which is why I'm like trying to force myself to use them, because otherwise I just forget. But this is look number 1. I really like this. I think it's like so sultry and so grungy and so dark, but still just like pretty. I don't know if other people would call this pretty, but I like it. So that's gonna be it for look number 1. Let's just move into the second look. Alright, I am back and we are going to be doing another look, and for once I actually have a plan. We're going out tonight, so I want to do one of my very big wings that I'm sure you've seen if you've been on my channel for a while. If not, I will show you in this video. So basically what I'm going to start off doing is I want to start off by building up a crease, and I'm going to probably just use these 2 shades right here. I think I'm going to focus only on like this part of the palette and make this into like an all blue look. I think that's going to be the plan. So I'm first going to go into Duello, this one right here, and I'm going to put that into my crease. And then I'm going to use the lighter turquoise shade to blend this out with. So I'm going to make sure that I keep this as a very round shape here, because that's just going to end up working very well for the wing part that I'm going to be doing. And we're not going to be doing anything crazy tonight. We're just going to go grab dinner and maybe a couple of drinks afterwards at a bar or something. We haven't really decided what we're doing yet, but it's not going to be like a nightclub kind of partying. I'm way too old for that. Like, I've been there and done that in Vegas, and like the party scene here is absolutely insane, and I really don't want anything to do with it anymore because I don't know, I just feel like I'm too old. And I'm also happily married, so it's not really for me, if you want to put it that way. Next up, I'm gonna go in with this turquoisey shade, and I'm going to, like I said, use this to blend out the first one that I put down. So I'm just going to run this all the way around my eye until I'm happy with the blends. So I'm going to go back in with that first shade that I used in my crease, and I'm going to just make sure that I build this up to be as dark and intense as I can get this shadow, because I do want this to be a very dramatic look. And the one thing I really like about these shadows is just how easily they build on each other, and they blend and build so beautifully that it makes it extremely easy to work with.
You want only the best and nothing but the best from me. I gotta figure it out right now, 'cause I know what you need.
Okay, so let's call this good for now. I'm gonna go in with a clean fluffy brush here and just really try to make sure that that turquoisey shade is nice and blended out. So I think I'm pretty happy with where this is going. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my wing part. I do have a tutorial on this. I will link that up in the corner if you wanna go check that out, but I'm gonna do this off camera because it usually takes a while. So I just wanna make sure I get this right, and it's just easier for me to see what I'm doing when I don't have to worry about where my mirror is. So I will be right back once the wing of my wings are done. Okay, so I have the wings on now, and what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna take a little bit of a black eyeshadow. I assume that most people have a black eyeshadow, so I don't feel too bad about doing that, but I just like doing this step to really make sure that I connect my wing to like the rest of my lid here, so that when I go in with my next shadows, it's going to be a little bit more of a seamless blend. And of course, if you don't have hooded eyes like I do, you don't need to do your wings like this. You could just go ahead and finish off the eyes and just like follow the rest of the steps that I'm going to do, and then just do a regular eye with your eye shape. But given that I have very hooded eyes, this is the only way that wings look like I don't have hooded eyes, if that makes sense. If you don't have hooded eyes, you probably don't know what I mean, but wings are a struggle, let's just put it that way. So I think what I'm gonna do next is I'm either gonna go in with the dark black shimmer. I think that's what I do. Did I just say dark black? I mean dark blue. So I'm first gonna go into this shimmer right here, and I'm going to put that on like the middle of my lid, and then for the rest of my lid I'm gonna use the turquoisey shimmer. And I am going to go ahead and use some glitter glue with this just because last time I used that dark blue shimmer, I found that I had some shimmer or blue particles on my face after wearing it for a while. So since I am going out, like I said, I don't want to have to worry about my makeup tonight. So just going to make sure that, you know, it stays where it's supposed to stay. So I'm just going to take some glitter glue and basically just pack that all over my lid where I plan on putting down a shimmer shadow here. And then I'm first going into the dark blue shimmer here, and I'm going to place that, like I said, in the middle of my lid. Oh, I just love that color so much. Oh my god. Oh, it's just so pretty. I didn't even spray this. I just put it on top of the glitter glue, and it's just amazing. And then for the inner portion, I'm just going to take the turquoisey shimmer here and just connect that with the other blue shimmer in the middle, kind of layering them over each other here. And I feel like I've lost a little bit of that crease shade that I put down first to start off the look with, so I'm going to take just a little bit of this. And I'm just going to run this through my crease again just to make sure that everything is looking blended, because I don't want this to necessarily look like a cut crease or anything like that. I just want to make sure that my crease is deep enough here, so I'm just going to gently pull this through my crease one last time. Stay true, so I can be in on this for you. And just as a last step, I'm going to take a bit of this champagne shimmer and just pop that into my inner corner. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this like above the beginning of where I put down that turquoise shade, and then just wrap it around to my lower lash line. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on some black liner just very close to my lashes here, and probably some black in my waterline and then some mascara. And then I'll be right back and I'll show you the lipstick that I plan on wearing tonight. I'll probably pop on a nude because that's what I tend to reach for when I go out. So I'll finish off and I will show you the look. Okay, so this is the look all done. Obviously, I still need to change and like fix my hair a little bit before we go out and stuff, but this is like the makeup all done. And I really like how this turned out. I really love doing these kind of wings on my eyes. I just feel like it's so flattering and it's so impactful. And like, it might be a little too much for some people, but not for me because I absolutely love it. So for my lipstick today, I decided to go with Oh Snap from Colourpop. It's one of the lippy sticks. I love these. I think they're so great. They're great for like, you know, putting in your purse too. So this is probably what I'll be wearing tonight. I haven't decided. I might change my mind in a bit. I feel like I always change my lipstick, but this is what the eye look is looking like anyway, and this is what you're here for, but this is the completed look. So let's move into look number 3 because I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I think I want to work with both like the warm tones and the cool tones in that look, so let's do that. Alright, so it's time for the last look, and I think I'm going to start off by taking the turquoisey matte, and I kind of have an idea where I'm going with this. All I know is I kind of want to do what Mae Beauty does. If you don't know who she is, I will link her channel down below, but what she does is she has pink hair, so she will take a pink shadow and like put that in the triangle part like right here before you get started on your lid. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with the turquoise. I don't know how this is going to like turn out, but I'm just going to go ahead and start by placing that right here and then kind of like blend it up into my brow. And then I think I'm gonna probably go in with possibly like the gray and the red. I haven't really decided where I'm going with this. I want to kind of just take it slow and see where we end up here. So I'm just gonna kind of feather this outwards and just focus most of the pigment like right into my crease, but then like blending it up.
I gotta figure it out right now, 'cause I know what you need. You want only the best and nothing but the...
So I'm torn between using the red and the gray, and I'm almost thinking I want to use the gray because they're both like on the cool tone side, and then maybe I'll pop the red underneath my eye or something like that. So let's just kind of go with that plan because I haven't used the gray yet. So I'm gonna go into this shadow right here. And I'm gonna use my Sigma E42 brush. This is one of their new like blending brushes. I really like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and start by packing that into my crease on the outer portion of my eye here. I don't know if I even want to pull this all the way through to meet it up with the turquoise or not, but I'm gonna just start on the outer corner of my eye and just slowly bring it up and in while just kind of fading it out at the same time. So I'm going to kind of feather it into that turquoise, I think, just to kind of make sure I have a little bit of color all up in my crease here. But I want most of the pigmentation of the shadow to be like on the outer part of my eye here. And so far this gray has just been absolutely amazing to work with. Like, it's so easy to build up. Like, it's pigmented, but it's not so pigmented that it's intimidating. Like, it just goes on the eyes exactly how I want it to, and I really, really like working with this. I think that actually looks kind of cool. I think I am gonna take the red though on my lower lash line, and I'm tempted to also do a cut crease with this, and then put that kind of champagne shade like all over my lid. So I'm just taking some of my P. Louise base on the back of my hand here. You could absolutely use concealer if you want to. And I'm just going to do a half cut crease. Now, obviously, this will depend on your eye shape and how you like your cut creases to be. But I'm just going to go ahead and do it the way that I like them here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the champagne shade right here, and I'm going to spray that with some Fix Plus. I probably don't have to since I do have a base down, but I like to just do that anyway to make sure it's nice and opaque. And I'm basically just going to pack that all over where I put down that cut crease here. And I think that this shade is probably my least favorite in this palette. I find it to be a little bit, not chunky, but more like chalky. It's really hard to explain, but I feel like it doesn't go on the lid like very smoothly, and it kind of just like, I don't know, like I feel like I see a lot of extra product just like laying onto my lid, and it doesn't really like smooth down that well. And it's also not really like foiled or metallic. It's just kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit lackluster. It's definitely not my favorite shade. I like the color of it, and I really like it as an inner corner highlight, but as a lid shade, I'm not really a fan of this. So I'm just taking this out all the way until it kind of overlaps with that gray, and then I'm gonna go back in with that gray and just put a little bit more of the gray on top just so I can really mix these two in together. Like, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see like the weird texture on my lid here, but it's not really looking that good. Like, it just looks very dry. And it looks like my eyelids has wrinkles on them, which that doesn't really happen with a lot of shadows. So this is just, it's not my favorite. So I'm gonna go back in with a little bit of that gray now, just on the outer corner of my eye again, just to make sure the blend between the two is looking good. And before I go in and do my lower lash line, I'm just gonna take a clean Q-tip, and I just want to kind of clean up this line a little bit here, just so I don't have like a bunch of gray where I'm about to put on the red. And then what I'm gonna do is, I think, I'm so tempted to use the shadow because I don't think I've used it, but I also feel like it might be a little too dark, and I would like the contrast between like the pure red better with the shades I have on top. So I think I'm just gonna take the red because that's just kind of what like screaming my name right now. And I'm just going to heavily smudge this underneath my eye here. And I think this is going to look really cool with the contrast of like the cool tones on my lid. And just before I finish off with the rest of my eyes here, I'm going to take a bit more of that shade that I put on my lid and just wrap that around and meet it up with the red. And this is basically all I want to do. I think this is going to end up looking really cool once it's like all put together. And I think for my waterline, I kind of want to tie it into that shade that I have like up in this area that I don't know what's called. And I think I'm going to use Zulu by Colourpop because that's also going to really make a nice contrast with the red. And I also don't like having like red in my waterline because sometimes it makes me look a little bit sick, and I don't like that look. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to pick some kind of a lipstick to go with this. I hope this is going to turn out okay. I think it's going to end up being like pretty cool, but we'll see. So this is the completed look, and again with my jewelry I feel like I need to change because it doesn't really go with the look. Even though there's like cool tones in the look, I feel like the vibe of this look is more on like the warm tone side. I don't know, it's weird. Like I'm just gonna take these off because this is just like throwing everything off. See, that's so much better. So for my lips, I used Nathan by Jeffree Star. This one had kind of dried out because I've had this for a long time and is a mini, so I put a gloss on top, and this is Prism Rose from Kevyn Aucoin. I got this in PR from Octoly. Absolutely love these glosses. I think they're great. So that's gonna be the look all done. As for my thoughts on this palette, I think you guys are gonna know what I'm gonna say, but I love this palette. I think this is a wonderful palette. I think the color story in here is amazing. The only shade that I don't love is this shade right here, but it's really just because I don't feel like it looks good on my lid, but it's a great inner corner shade. So I can kind of like excuse that shade because I feel like it's there for a purpose, and the purpose is not to really put it on the lid. It's more for like a highlighting shade, but all of these other shades just performed absolutely beautifully, and I just find these to be so easy to work with. I haven't really had a lot of fallout with any of these. There's a little bit of kick up in the pan, but not so much that it bothers me at all. And I just think that the formula on this is incredible. I really love it. I love the artwork. I love the palette. I love how heavy this is. I love how luxurious this feels. There's really nothing I don't like about this palette. So I'm really happy I bought this. I'm gonna try my best to get my hands on the other one on Thanksgiving when it does launch, but I don't know what my plans on Thanksgiving is, and I don't know if I'll even be awake at that time. I don't even know when this is going to launch, but I will try my best to get my hands on the other one so I can do some looks with that one as well, because I know a lot of you requested it. So let me know which look was your favorite. I think the second look was my favorite, but I really like them all, and I like how just different this look is. It's not like anything I think I've ever done before. So yeah, I don't know. I like them all for once, and I can't always say that. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see some other 3 looks 1 palette videos that I've done, I'll pop a few up on the screen. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.